Hi, good morning from Germany. James and the entire Bray gang, I would like to ask for permission to lead people to this space. It has a positive vibe, and maybe, since I don't know them personally, it may be a completely different age group, which doesn't count if somebody wants to learn something, right? So, I can see them, a lot of people, getting more angry and angry because they think they were taught wrong. But they never considered that even the teachers were brought up that way. Or the parents couldn't send them somewhere else or take the time to even go to something that we would call Elternabend to speak about the system. Because it's natural that parents want the best for their children. Normally they do. And I can see the confusion. I can sense some violence that wouldn't have been necessary at all. We already are at war, and that's a shame. But in that area, you're the specialist, and you have a great background, and I know they could ask you questions, and maybe you could get some input to help them. So would you allow me to send them straight there? I don't know how to do that, but I will, if you just say okay. Well, that is the most polite way to put it, because it's necessary. They are still confused and don't notice. Some of them even eat while they are talking about the horrible, incredibly stupid country they grew up with. That is a mistake, because it is not bad, it was just different. And they could start to change something today. Non-violent. Confused but not vicious. Puzzled but not correctable. They are using their own puzzle, and you could tell them that there are different strokes for different folks. I mean, they've got 7-Up, Pepsi, and even Coke. I'm just trying to copy somebody here, which I shouldn't do. But you're the urban warrior. And you have some life experience. And you have a huge... it's like a giant reservoir, like a bucket to pick out topics. And you have a bunch of them. And maybe we could reach a goal that could work in each country. That they shouldn't be so focused on who made what mistake if they are the ones who can change it right now. When they exchange their perception, I mean, that is another skill they have. I don't. I wouldn't even know how to order something that would help me to join in, slide in there, and say stop. Never forget that they are people too. Because I would be the good blonde German. And some of those people wouldn't be listening to me because I'm female. And I don't like to not even be heard. So if somebody would go on my page, yay, and I'm thankful for it, over 40 followers. And they pay close attention. And I'm proud of them and grateful. Yes, And why should we start something that you already did? And everybody complains, is exhausted, is confused about certain things, especially how they are taught and brought up. And that is a mistake, because it can be changed. It's their life and their lifetime, and then they should have that on a piece of paper. Let them get the message that they can sit down with the parents. At times people cannot really talk to them, but they can say, I would like to hear what you experienced when you went to school. It should probably be just about be the same. I mean, the flag, all kinds of things that nobody else can understand, but yet they are already complaining about that because they have been there for a few weeks, and then they think they understand the entire system all over a giant place. And you cannot compare that. I couldn't. Oh yeah, I studied. I went to school for 14 years straight. 14. Not straight. It was interrupted. But maybe I can... there could be an hour a day. Or maybe just a half an hour to test if that works. To not blame it on somebody else. If you make a teeny mistake, and you could go to your teacher, boy, would they be thankful. Because they are making the same mistakes all over again if we don't do something about it. We have to give a planet and a system over to children and grown-ups, all age groups. And the first thing they may be puzzled. It's totally normal. They shouldn't think this is the land of milk and honey. And that isn't either. Either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. No way. We won't quit. And we'll stick together and be friends. Because I said so, I mean it, and I did. I have a bunch of good news. Now, because of the things I did, I simply flew over there and picked people I visited. They invited me first, started as a business, and now I can talk to them and teach them things they shouldn't say, under what condition, and that stuff. But that's different. That's something that should be taken time for. They wouldn't have to be afraid that they don't have to eat their chips and whatever could go get into the keys of a keyboard and then be angry about themselves. They shouldn't. They may find out what they want, but they should never have a role model that says what you want is unacceptable. You carry your first gun when you're 15. You will get a racehorse by the time you are 16. You can simply do everything you want. That's slightly different. If you translate that, it means you can do everything, reach everything, get everything. It's unrealistic. But that's no shame. That's something to be glad about, because now they know that they don't have to focus on this stuff because they can try it out. But would you really like to walk on the moon? It's getting overcrowded there. Sooner or later they will all be mechanics, and I would like to share. But sometimes I need a little help from my friends. So please may I lead them there. Even if this sounds a bit crazy. But I'm not the only one. Because we are in the position to change a lot. We were We did, we can, and there's nobody to stop us but ourselves. If they are in the mood to learn something about themselves and sort out what they just heard in the internet, okay. Unless you're living among a bunch of people that wouldn't like to harm you anyway, but on the other hand have no idea what's going on in Washington, D.C., because they are living in Washington State. That's a difference. But this overdose of information, too much information, I would like to record that one day. And nice songs, just as well. I would like to hear what they grew up with. I would like to hear what they are confused about. Normally, teachers have a life too. Or sponsors, or in general, if they are human, they normally have a life or would like to enjoy a bit more. And would it be so? We can find out about that. They can help us, because it's not about serving everything to them, because it's making them think. I mean, I noticed that right away. I don't know if you still kept all those things. I said, wow, that's a great idea, because people won't listen to me. As I said, it's just too quick. That's was a specialist who said that. Stop. What was the first point? Why? Because you're already at number 5. I'm still working on the first one. Great, and then it goes a bit faster, and I learned how to do that. I was born that way. That can be a difficulty. Because some people may not be able to follow you if you don't give them the chance. I can't. You have to learn how. And that is the problem. If you know something and learn for your, I mean, a huge part of their lives, you may be scaring them. Bim. I mean, they are putting and soaking up information just like that. And you could butt in and do just what you always did. Give people hope, joy, happiness, information. Let the others tell something about the places they come from. And that's a lot. Because that will be work. And they have to engage themselves and allow it to happen. And maybe they will be surprised, because if they think everybody's against me, they lied to me. Maybe they didn't. Maybe that was their way to look at things, because they had to. And nobody just was in the same age group, and so everything was a complete mess, and now they are wondering why they had no idea. Of course they have an idea. And if they don't have it yet, yes, they will get it. You know, your followers, you know what you can do. You made us go wait, and we're the Germans here. What? All the brunches, theme parks, what? But we need more of that, because they are awake, and it's the era of those who want to be awake. Of course they need people to talk to, but if nobody is there to filter that, I don't know if that is a capacity in there that would sit for 1 hour straight and say, more, give me more. I need to hear more about that. And for me, this was already a journey. And I intend to go further. And that's quite some lesson. I love it. Maybe they would do the same. I heard a girl just saying she was bombarded with all those American things and swearing this and singing that. Let them. You see? Because in Germany they wouldn't care about her skills and what God knows what. They would be lost. They don't know about traditions. How great people can be, how well they are able to adapt, how good things can turn out if you just work together. And I tried that before, and I just have this, it is a perfect smartphone. I'm just having to pet it every now and again. And one day we need to talk, if there's nothing against that. I have no idea how to talk to somebody with just an iPhone. No, because I don't want to pass around my number, that's all. Yes, and I like people, but not if they are not able to focus for a few minutes. That's something they can go for. To eat an apple every day might take their worries away. So it may be just the time that they cut one, that they draw one, that they won't speak with a mouth full. See? Just because somebody's older or younger doesn't make them not able to comprehend stuff. And they're so confused, and I say, well, and if I have to write a note to somebody, and then if it has to be this and this and this, and I make it 1,000 as soon as it has to be, I will do that. But on the other hand, they need to get some experiences. And if they can prove that that is a bad idea, I mean, no, not the teacher's bad idea, but this, what they had in front of their eyes, was, in general, not bringing them any further. They had the idea that it wouldn't bring that person that is just talking any further. Maybe there's another way. And we would like to know where everybody else lives and where the teacher's coming from. You just have to maneuver a little, and then, hey, bam, you could say, great, somebody who understands me, because that one needed to go to a perfect school to become a teacher. Hooray! And now everybody is confused. And we'll bring it where? The classrooms. And nobody's prepared. We can change that. They can change it. They may be confused. Isn't that completely normal? They may find somebody who has time. I mean, a real person they can look into the eye. Eyes? Well, if they're lucky, they can look into eyes. Yes, you have to. It's like having a puppy. It's not dumb. On the contrary. But you have to invest into yourselves. That's what I would like to know. How to say that. Invest into yourselves and your knowledge, and it will pay off if you are really going there.